The studio of the Ellen DeGeneres Show was buzzing with its usual energy that morning, cameras rolling, audience clapping, stage crew rushing back and forth to capture every laugh, every glance, every perfectly timed moment. Ellen DeGeneres, known for her light humor and charm, strutted out to greet her guest of the day, the ever-graceful Carrie Underwood. The crowd erupted in cheers as the country superstar walked on stage, her blonde hair shimmering under the lights, her calm demeanor radiating confidence. She wore a cream-colored pantsuit, effortlessly elegant, her posture straight, her smile poised. Ellen welcomed her with a hug, one that looked friendly but felt slightly stiff on camera. "Carrie Underwood, everybody," Ellen announced, motioning toward the crowd. The applause echoed through the studio as Carrie took her seat, crossing her legs, flashing that polite smile she'd mastered over the years. At first, the conversation flowed easily. They chatted about Carrie's latest album, Unbroken Roads, and her whirlwind tour across the country. Ellen complimented her on her voice, her songwriting, and even her dedication to family life. Everything seemed perfectly normal, just another celebrity interview. But beneath the surface, something was brewing. Ellen, always known for pushing boundaries and asking unexpected questions, shifted gears. "So, Carrie," she said with a mischievous smirk, "I saw your Instagram post a few weeks ago about being tired of the industry noise. That got a lot of attention. Are you burning out? Or maybe hinting that you're done with music?" Carrie let out a soft, almost awkward laugh. "No, not at all. I just meant that sometimes it's good to take a step back, you know. Life can get hectic, and I think it's healthy to unplug once in a while." Ellen leaned forward, pressing. "But fans are worried, Carrie. You've been touring nonstop for years, and now you're posting about burnout. Some people think maybe you've had enough. Maybe you're ready to retire." The smile on Carrie's face faltered for the first time. She blinked, took a breath, and replied, "No, Ellen, I love what I do. Music's a part of me. I was just being honest about needing balance." Ellen chuckled, her tone turning slightly sharper. "Come on, balance. You've got the perfect career, the perfect husband, a family, awards, and millions of fans. What more could you need balance for?" A murmur spread through the audience. The tone had shifted, it wasn't playful anymore. Carrie straightened in her seat. "Well, Ellen," she said slowly, "having all those things doesn't mean I don't get tired. It doesn't mean I'm not human." But Ellen wasn't backing down. "I think people just miss the old Carrie. You know, the humble girl from American Idol who was just grateful for any opportunity. Some folks say fame's changed you, that you've become a little Hollywood." The audience gave an uneasy laugh, unsure whether to join in or stay silent. The camera zoomed in on Carrie's face, a flicker of disbelief crossed her eyes before she composed herself again. "That's an unfair thing to say," she responded, her voice cool but firm. "I've worked hard to get where I am. I've learned boundaries, learned to protect my peace. That's not being Hollywood, that's being healthy." Ellen laughed awkwardly. "Boundaries, huh, sounds like a fancy way to say diva." The room went dead silent. Even the audience, known to laugh at nearly everything Ellen said, froze in stunned quiet. Carrie's expression changed instantly, the polite mask fell away. Her eyes hardened, her jaw tightened. "If respecting myself makes me a diva, then so be it," she said, her tone sharper now. "But I won't sit here and let you reduce me to that." Ellen tried to recover with a quick quip. "Oh, don't be so serious, Carrie. You know I'm just teasing." Carrie leaned forward slightly. "No, Ellen, you're not teasing, you're belittling. I came here to talk about my music, not to be mocked on national television." The audience was silent now, the tension thick in the air. Ellen shifted in her chair, trying to turn it back into humor, but Carrie was already unhooking her microphone. "I respect you," she said, standing up gracefully, "but I also respect myself. And right now, I think it's best I leave." Gasps rippled through the crowd as Carrie turned and walked off the stage, her heels clicking sharply against the floor, each step echoing with quiet finality. The production team scrambled, cameras panned, Ellen sat speechless for a moment before forcing a laugh. "Well," she said, glancing awkwardly at the audience, "I guess she really does have boundaries." The show quickly cut to commercial, but the damage was already done. Crew members exchanged shocked looks, the audience whispered among themselves, and Ellen, for once, looked rattled. What had started as a friendly chat had exploded into a cultural moment, one that no amount of humor could diffuse. Carrie Underwood had just walked off the Ellen DeGeneres Show, and the whole world would soon be talking about it. The clip of Carrie Underwood walking off the Ellen DeGeneres Show went viral faster than anyone could have imagined. Within an hour of the episode's taping, someone in the audience had uploaded the footage to social media. By that evening, hashtags like hashtag Carrie walks off Ellen and hashtag respect Carrie Underwood were trending across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. News outlets jumped on the story immediately, dissecting every second of the tense exchange. Fans were divided. Some praised Carrie for standing her ground. "She's got every right to defend herself," one fan posted. "Ellen crossed the line." Others accused her of being overly sensitive. "It's Ellen," a critic tweeted. "She jokes with everyone. Carrie couldn't take a little teasing." Ellen's team released a short statement the next morning, claiming the incident had been misinterpreted, and that the conversation was meant in good humor. But the public wasn't buying it. The clip told its own story: Ellen's condescending tone, Carrie's calm restraint, and the final moment where she walked away with quiet dignity. The internet had seen it all, and no amount of PR spin could erase that. For 2 days, Carrie remained silent. Reporters camped outside her Nashville home. Paparazzi followed her husband, Mike Fisher, as he dropped their kids off at school. Rumors swirled that Carrie was planning legal action or demanding a public apology. But on the third morning, Carrie broke her silence, not through a press conference or a publicist, but through a simple, 2-minute Instagram video. She appeared on screen with no makeup, sitting in her cozy kitchen, a mug of coffee in hand. "Hey, everyone," she began softly. "I've seen the videos, the comments, the discussions. I just want to say this: I didn't walk off that stage because I was angry. I walked off because I believe every person deserves respect, no matter who they are, how famous they've become, or what platform they're on." Her voice was calm but steady, her eyes direct. "I've been in this industry long enough to know when a conversation stops being about fun and starts being about tearing someone down. I'm proud of my journey, every step of it. Growth isn't arrogance, it's self-respect." The video ended with her simple words: "Be kind, but don't be silent." That phrase struck a chord. Within hours, it became a movement. Fans and celebrities began using hashtag Be Kind But Don't Be Silent as a new rallying cry for standing up against subtle disrespect and media manipulation. The video reached over 20 million views in less than 24 hours. Carrie's peers in the music industry quickly came to her defense. Miranda Lambert tweeted, "Boundaries aren't weakness. They're strength. Proud of you, sis." Kelly Clarkson commented on Carrie's post, "I've been there. Respect is not optional. You did the right thing." Even Dolly Parton chimed in with her signature warmth, saying, "Sometimes walking away is the strongest thing a woman can do." Meanwhile, inside Ellen's camp, the mood was less supportive. Reports leaked that producers were panicking, fearing another PR nightmare for the show. Ellen herself, according to insiders, felt blindsided by the backlash. Some claimed she reached out privately to Carrie to apologize, though neither party confirmed it. A week later, during an episode of Ellen, the host tried to address the controversy subtly. "Sometimes," she said, forcing a smile, "people misunderstand my humor. But I love all my guests, and I wish them the best." The audience clapped awkwardly, sensing the tension beneath her words. Carrie, however, didn't respond. She didn't need to. Her silence spoke volumes. Instead, she poured her energy into her music, channeling the experience into new creative work. 2 weeks after the incident, Carrie was performing at a sold-out concert in Dallas. The energy was electric. Fans held signs that read, "We love you, Carrie," and hashtag Be Kind But Don't Be Silent. Midway through the show, after finishing a powerful rendition of Cry Pretty, she paused, taking a deep breath. "You know," she began, her voice echoing through the arena, "life's full of moments that test your strength. Sometimes it's not about fighting back, it's about walking away with your dignity intact." The crowd erupted in cheers. "I didn't walk off that stage because I was weak," she continued, her tone steady but emotional. "I walked off because peace is worth more than applause." The applause that followed shook the building. Thousands of fans stood, cheering, clapping, some even crying. It was no longer about a TV walk-off, it was about every person who'd ever felt dismissed, patronized, or disrespected for speaking their truth. That night became one of the most powerful performances of Carrie's career. Her team later revealed that her streams surged by nearly 40%, and her single Unbroken Roads climbed back up the charts. But more importantly, Carrie had reclaimed her narrative, not as a victim of a talk show moment gone wrong, but as a symbol of grace and empowerment. In the weeks that followed, media outlets began reframing the story. What had started as Carrie's dramatic walk-off evolved into Carrie Underwood's stand for respect. Talk shows discussed the double standards female artists faced, and columnists wrote essays about emotional intelligence in the entertainment industry. Carrie remained characteristically humble through it all. In an interview a month later, she summed it up simply: "You don't always have to raise your voice to make your point. Sometimes the most powerful statement you can make is walking away." And with that, she turned what could have been a scandal into a defining moment of strength, proving, once again, that Carrie Underwood doesn't just sing about power. She lives it.